Uh, hey guys, it's Kef Blavens with Blavens Racing. I'm here to talk to you about a shock. It's the only shock in the world that will work. It's the only good shock that can make you go faster. It's literally the only thing you should ever buy. It's a coincidence that it's also what we sell here, and you shouldn't ever buy it from anyone else. No one else should be allowed to sell these or even talk about them. It should just only be me because I'm sort of a big deal in the motorcycle industry, and because of that, I feel like I should get exclusive rights to do stuff. So, yeah, we're here to talk about this. Buy it from me. Don't buy it from anybody else, and everything else is really, really terrible. Hey guys, it's Morgan. Welcome to another video here at Highland Cycles. I'm pretty excited about this. This is the KYB factory kit shock. Super stoked. Yeah, I'm giving Jeff a hard time again. For all of you who are offended by that, well, get over it. And I'm also going to tell you why I made that short little intro and why we went with this shock over some others. So if that sounds like fun, join us. Here we go. All right, guys, we are here to talk about what's inside of a KYB factory kit shock or a kit shock, and what is different between this and the one that comes on the bike. This is going on the Fantic. We have officially left the realm of modest adjustments and upgrades, and we are going full craziness on this thing now. We are doing some really cool stuff. The fork stuff that's coming is going to be really awesome too. So I decided to go with a KYB A-kit shock. First of all, it's a great shock. It's going to be really good. We have really good settings with TBT for this thing. And we're going to be doing that here on this video. I'm going to be taking this thing apart and showing you what's inside there and then revalving it for me. But I want to tell a quick little story about why we went with this shock. So I had originally thought about going with an MX Tech shock, the National Shock or Natty shock. I've heard very, very good things about it. And I thought, well, you know, I've never tested one of those. Let's do it. So I emailed, I got a hold of someone there, their head of marketing. And I said, hey, you know, I'm building this bike. It's a Fantic. It's getting a lot of press, whatever. Is there any way you'd want to help me out with a National Shock? And they get back to me because I'm not doing their forks. I've got some other stuff coming for that from a very good long-time sponsor. So they said, well, you know, since we're not doing the whole bike, we're not really interested in giving it to you, but we'll sell it to you for a discount. I'm like, that's fine. That sounds great. I completely understand. Sounds awesome. You know, take my money. And it was a modest discount. It wasn't even dealer pricing. And again, that's fine. That's awesome. Like, they got to make money. I get it. So totally cool. So I gave my information, weight, riding stuff, blah, 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 what bike it's, all this stuff. And then their shock builder posted a video of it, like a reel of it on Instagram saying, what up, Highland Cycles? I wonder what's going on. And I got super excited. He obviously had it done. I was expecting a call the next day to get money and have them ship it out. So, you know, great. I reposted it to my Instagram, blah, 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 all that social stuff. Well, the next day, I get an email from the owner of MX Tech, very respectful email, telling me that because I had made fun of Jeff Slavens in the past and made those videos, if you haven't checked those out, please go check them. They're funny. Because I'd done that they didn't want to work with me. And not only did they not want to work with me, they're just not going to sell me the shock. Like, period. They didn't say, hey, you know, we're not going to give you a discount. They just said, nope, that's it. You don't get the shock. I'm like, oh, okay. And he sent me his phone number, say if you want to call and talk about it. I was like, I don't really want to talk about it. There's nothing to talk about if you've already made your decision. But I emailed him back and said, hey, man, I understand your position. I know relationships are very important in this business and all that stuff, but it seems like it would be good to have two different viewpoints on the suspension so that, you know, maybe, you know, Jeff obviously sells a lot of their stuff and maybe I would sell a lot of their stuff for them. I don't want to be a dealer. I wasn't trying to become a dealer for them. I was just wanting to review the thing and, again, buy it. And so Jeff Slavin strikes again and gets me blacklisted from MX Tech. So no big deal. I don't really care. Honestly, I'm not good enough rider to tell the difference between probably the KYB A kit and a National Shock. I mean, I don't honestly I don't think I'm good enough to know. But I just thought it'd be cool for content and maybe sell some parts for them. I don't know. Anyway, learn about their stuff. So yeah, I guess they didn't want that. So no big deal. We are moving on. We've got an A-kit shock. I'm really excited about it. Let's take this thing apart. Right. So guys, from the outside, what you can tell is different. First of all, the shock body is a different color. That's a different coating. There's going to be a coating on the inside of this thing that's a little bit different. You can see one huge difference is the compression adjuster. It is very fancy-pantsy. It's got high, low, high compression, low compression, and another little, I don't know, I'm going to read about it. Anyway, lots of little clickies that I could probably mess up and make the thing work poorly. We got a billet cap here for the bladder. Obviously it is a Schrader style, which I love, guys. The needle style is fine, especially the Disassembly forks and all that, but I love a Schrader valve. It makes my life easier. Comes with the X-Trig adjuster. That's really nice. I had no idea it came with that. That is freaking cool. Obviously, black lower piece here. It's not whatever you call this, the bottom of the shock. And then you can look in here and you can see the black coating on the shock shafts. It's going to make it really slippery. So they sent this with, they call it just their shipping valving, because I told them I was going to be valving it. Don't bother with it, because they, you know, if you called Technical Touch, is where I got this in California. If you called them and asked them for a shock, they would actually valve it for you, which is really cool. But because I'm pairing it with Disassembly forks, there you go. There's a little, I let that slip. It's not a secret, but anyway, it's what's happening with the Disassembly forks is really cool, because it's not just inserts. They because I'm pairing it with that, they didn't know what to do for settings and all that stuff. I said, don't worry, I've got settings. I'm a TBT shop. We got good settings, so no big deal. They don't need to send me settings, but we need to take it apart and put my settings in it. So then they do ask you weight and everything, and they send you the right spring for it. So let's chuck this thing up and take it apart. It's like, and I don't even know if there's oil in it, because they left this up. I have a feeling that this thing is empty, which is great for me. Just one less thing I have to deal with. Make sure there's no nitrogen in there. I don't think there's going to be. Let's see. Yeah, not really. Just a tiny little bit of probably just air came out. Take our Tusk Shock seal head pusher. And I don't show you guys this thing enough. This is a snap-on tool. I freaking love this thing. It's got a little spoon head. It is great for getting circlips out of things, not damaging stuff. It's yeah. There we go. Sweet. Dry. They put a little bit of lube on this so it wouldn't mess anything up. But it's hard to tell. But so this coating, whatever this bronze is on the outside, and someone can comment below, like, because honestly I don't know what the names of the thing are, but this coating on this thing inside and out makes this a lot harder, so way less likely to wear. Also, this X-Trig, besides making it easy to set sag and stuff like that, is really nice because it doesn't clamp down on anything like the KTM. Now the KYBs don't anyway, because they have the lock ring and all that stuff. It's a much better system than the WP, but anyway, it's just nice. It keeps things from wearing out, so pretty freaking sweet. Set this up here. Guys, also, quick shout out to OmniWall. If you guys want, we sell this OmniWall setup. It doesn't have my face or all the stuff on it. It actually looks just like that one over there. It's on our website. I'll put a link in the description. I love this thing for working on suspension or anything else, honestly. Just keeps things organized. It's really nice. And then this, everybody always asks me about this tray. I had this built locally at a metal fab shop. It's stainless steel. They bend it up, put a bung in the bottom for a hose. Anyway, have your local fab shop make you one of these. Or if you're a welder, whatever, do your own. But all right, so now let's take a look at this. So this is all just basic KYB stuff, nothing special going on here. But again, this setting is going to be probably just Moto YZ setting. So I don't know. We're taking it all out of there. All right, 19 millimeter wrench, guys. I can say that the top of this shaft is a lot nicer, bigger open hole. It comes with a lock washer or lock nut, which the other ones do too, but that's super nice. I have to know. Damn it, Scotty Keltner. All right, guys. So now let's take this valve stack apart. And we're just going to lay everything out. This is how I always do it. Lay it out in order. And then, oh, thank you very much. Nut, washer, plate. I'm just going to go like this. And that way we can line this up with what we're going to put in. And you guys can see what the big difference is between. And again, this is not representative of what would come in an A-kit shock from KYB, because this is just their, I think they called it their shipping setting. So it's probably just a stock YZ setting, like something, anyway, not exciting. So I'm going to restart here now on the compression. So this is all rebound. The other thing about laying it out all like this is that I can actually, if any of these line up and are something we reuse, which a lot of times we don't change the whole stack, then I can just grab these and reuse them and not have to dig it out of our drawers of stuff. All right, guys, there we go. There's a rebound stack, compression stack. Nothing crazy looking there. Now let's go get our other stuff. Again, let's quick take a look at this. This is super nice coating on this. It's really hard, really slippery. Yeah, I'm amped about that. That is going to be really good. Rebound adjuster is normal, it's like always. But yeah, I think the real big difference between this shock and just the stock KYB, which by the way, the stock KYB is very, very good. I do not need to do this. This is not a need upgrade. This is a want upgrade. So that's all. There's no reason to do this unless you're an absolute super pro level. Maybe this is definitely going to hold up better. The coating on the body is going to hold up better, and then the compression adjuster gives you a little more adjustment. But yeah. It's a very expensive shock. I paid $1,900 as a dealer. I don't know what they're probably $2,500, $2,400, something like that for a shock, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm excited about it. So yeah, let's get some shims. All right, guys. So we got them laid out here. Okay, let's start with compression. So this is the stock compression here. This is our compression here. So I'm obviously not going to go deep into it. Partially that's what we do for a living. The other part is it would take forever. But you can see we start with a little bit smaller shim here, like diameter wise, and a lot of these are different thicknesses. Definitely big difference in the crossover shim here. Difference in the face shims, or the face shim, and then this the main part of the initial part of the valving here and compression is quite a bit different. More shims, but they're thinner. And then we come up here to the rebound, Rebound is not as different, but definitely different. So anyway, stack those suckers on there. We're putting this thing back together. All right, guys, we're going with KYB shock oil, as you would imagine. Before I go further, I want to make sure I back all the clickers out, which they should probably be. They're all basically one from outer all the way out. So there we go. Now, just gonna ease this thing down in there. And we're just gonna bleed this nice and slow, up and down, get all the bubbles out. Like all bladder shocks, I'm going to put just a little bit of air in here so that this holds its form and we don't bleed this thing and put it all together with that shock bladder collapse at all. Because if it's collapsed at all and then you hit something really hard and there's no nitrogen to hold it up, you can actually bottom this thing out, basically hydrolock it and blow things apart. That's what happened to Kenny on his Suzuki last year. At least that's what we think. Can't prove that for sure, but definitely something funny happened. So I feel pretty good about that. Grab our little tool. All right, clips in, pull up. Definitely some air left in there. It's okay. We're gonna get it out. So you could hook up a vacuum pump to that, but since I don't use a vacuum pump, we're going to use our DRC bleed cups. This compression adjuster, we can take this out. We can screw our bleed cup in there, and then actually that's better too because it's even a little bit higher. You can see even when it's on the bike, this will be higher. So we'll get all the air out of there. Bleed cup adapter. Got an O-ring on it so you don't have to tighten it all the way down. You can keep this so it's up more. Now we can fill our cup. Bring this over here, get that up in there, and now we can just, oh yeah, big air. Now you just pump this thing up and down. If I can show you guys. Of course, I just got a big bunch of air out the last time. Oh, there we go. So we're just going to keep pumping this thing up and down, get all the air out of there. All right, guys, feel good about that. Down to 0 bubbles. Now I'm going to put all this back in, put this together because there's shims. Well, it's hard to show you. Anyway, trust me, this is easier to install with everything together. And we're just gonna, well, now we're gonna go nice and easy. Just gonna bleed some. Now we're going to go put 150 psi of nitrogen in it. And then I'll be right back to talk about what our base settings are and what all these things do, all these extra clickies. All right, we got our nitrogen in there. We're going to put our spring on. All right, we'll call that seated, and then we're going to do 6 turns, which not really for sure. Here, on measure preload, put about 5 mil preload on there. So right now we're at basically, well, not basically, 26 centimeters. So we got to go to 25 and a half. This is obviously just a baseline, guys, because we're going to check sag on the bike. But this will get us in the ballpark. All right, now let's hang out and talk about what all these clickers do. All right, guys, so let's talk about this. This is obviously rebound damping, like always. Normal rebound damping. And then we have high and low speed compression damping up here, which is just like normal. It's a different way of doing it, but same idea, right? And then the really cool thing, this red is a tension or fine tuning of the rebound damping. So I'm not exactly, honestly, 100% sure how that works, like what that's doing inside there. But it has to do with obviously letting oil back through the compression valve as the shock is extending. It's probably normally on a normal shock just open, so it just lets it go back through, and you're dealing with the piston. You're trying to control the flow through the piston for your normal rebound damping, but this is obviously controlling a little bit of the flow back through here, which normally, like I said, that would be open. But super cool. We're going to set our clickers at, where's my spec? 11 out on rebound. Compression is 14. So that's going to be low speed. All right, guys. So on the high speed, it's basically doing the same thing as the big turny guy. It's just giving you an easier way to count, like set it right, because we, since normally it's a big nut and you're just going like 1.5 or 1.75 or whatever, this gives you a little more fine tuning. So this has 25 total clicks. Normally on that big nut you have about 3 full revolutions. So divide that by 3, we end up with about 8. It's close enough. And then 1.5 out from all the way in would be about 12. So set that to 12. And then the fine tuning or tension, I went to middle. It's got 23 clicks total. So I went to the middle, which is about 11.5 or whatever. And then I came out to 10. So a little bit softer than dead middle. So we are going to try that. I can't wait to put this thing on the bike. I'm going to do that right now. Actually, after I wash the motorcycle, after our Highland Hound, and give this thing a test. I'm really, really excited about it, guys. I think this is going to be absolutely brilliant. Do I think I'm going to be able to tell a massive difference between this and the stock shock? Probably not. The valving, I mean, it's gonna feel completely different, but that's because I valved it and got the right spring on it. It has nothing to do with all the cool coatings, although that is really cool and sweet and awesome. It should move and do all that, whatever. But realistically, I'm probably not going to feel a massive difference between that and if I just revalve the stock shock. But it looks cool. It's going to last really well, and it's going to give me an opportunity to do something pretty cool with the other shock, which I can't talk about right now. But I'm hoping something really cool happens with that. We'll have to see. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.